I came to England because I fell in love with somebody who was English. But then I started to look for work, and I found an advert in a magazine called Melody Maker, which was put in by Danny White.
Well, we originally started in a group called Matt Bianco.
And we recorded one album, and to our surprise it was very successful, very well received.
So after one album, Basia kind of had enough of singing backing vocals.
I think it was Danny who believed in me more than I believed in myself, because he kept giving me all sorts of musical ideas.
So I left with Basia and we started a new project which was called Basia.
It's Basia. We started to write songs together. I felt totally out of my depth. But I just followed my feelings, and all those songs ended up on the first album called Time and Tide.
Funnily enough, in Europe, all the places that Matt Bianco were successful, we weren't. And then we had a call from America.
And it was a perfect timing for us, because there were radio stations there which really played that kind of music that we'd produced.
And then we went on tour and we promoted the album, and it did very well in America.
I remember exactly that one of the executives said, you know, when we sell 10,000 copies, we do a big party. I was a little bit disappointed with that number. But then we sold suddenly 100,000, and they were surprised. Then there was million, and now it's getting to 2 million, and I think no one expected the popularity of this music.
My next guest, a very talented singer from Europe, Poland, actually. Good to see you again. It's Basia, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
I was dreaming when I jumped the lights, busy scaling the swing high.
Back in just a moment, it's 44 past the hour. Basia steps in here to sing us a tune after break. This is Today on NBC.
Now, you're on tour in the U.S. right now, but afterwards you're going to go to Poland and play in 8 different cities. The first time ever. You're a Polish artist. What does that feel like?
No, it's terribly nerve-wracking.
Coming back in a couple of moments with the international singing star Basia.
One of Poland's most popular exports, if not its most musical, is back with a new album called The Sweetest Illusion. Oh, nice to have you back here with us. How was opening night on Broadway?
Our next guest is a wonderful singer who is currently starring in a series of sold-out concerts here on Broadway.
Opening night was a sellout. Basia promises a 4th album in the near future.
I think after our '94 tour with The Sweetest Illusion, it was very full on, and I think it kind of left us a bit exhausted and kind of had enough and needed to have a break. So we certainly did have a break.
Maybe I'm not a typical singer who just can go into the studio, record anytime. I have to be in the right frame of mind, and unfortunately during the last few years there were so many sort of things sad happened in my life that I just couldn't. For me it would be just like a form of a lie, you know. So I thought it was better just to wait and get this enthusiasm back.
A few years ago in 2004, we did get back together with Mark Riley, our old friend from Matt Bianco.
They thought that this was a perfect way of introducing me to music again, and I think that's what did it.
You are the one I need, no place I'd rather.
You kind of relit her fire for recording and writing and just generally performing.
She's back, it's that girl again.
Well, this album is called It's That Girl Again. It's a title of one of the songs on the album. It was inspired by one of my friends who passed away a few years ago. She was an incredibly positive person, and I always wanted to be like her.
That song was one of the earliest songs that we wrote. I've had that backing track knocking around for a long time. There's just a nice chord progression.
Always when I heard this chord progression, I could not work on it because it was for me too moving. I swear, the tears were coming down my face. I couldn't listen to it.
Never scared, it's so unrealistic to live. It's too idealistic. This is so.
And finally, after all my experiences over the last years, I finally found it. I found the subject for it. It's not about her anymore, maybe, because she's not back. But I am back, as if taking some of her qualities.
Strong, that's what they say. I'm only complacent, and I will admit to the crowd.
The Gift is a song that had to happen finally, because it is how grateful I am that somebody stuck with me for quite a few years. So I just thought that that kind of feeling deserved a song, at least one true, real.
I just was sitting at the piano and came up with the main melody.
Strong, that's what they say. I'm only complacent.
Sometimes when you're writing, it's as though the song's already been written in the future, and occasionally you get a glimpse into that.
You always be on my side. I often forget your love is a gift. I take it for granted.
It was such an easy song to write, because Danny said, oh, you know, it should be something emotional. I thought, finally, maybe I should write a love song.
You still
I had all these years to work, really, and I felt finally that this is the album that I wanted to make.
when on my own, confess I'm pathetic.
I felt totally relaxed, singing, writing. I felt my confidence was sort of there where it wasn't before, and I think that's why maybe I'm the happiest with this record.
That's what they say. I'm only complacent.
Today on the way here, I was listening to this album after a few weeks, and I noticed that every song seems to have a completely different mood, and I almost embody a different characters. But this one, I must, is unusual because I am highly critical in this song about someone who I sing to.
How many ways can I still prove that I love you? In spite of all the crazy tests that you had put me through, how else am I to show you that I forgive you for countless indiscretions performed this time by you? How many times
It's about losing ideals, about losing all this motivation to have a really good, positive life.
change right now? How things will have to change around here.
The song is that I must remind you what it was all about before, so it's still time, it's not too late.
You think will come the time when you're sorry and you
Whilst we were recording, we didn't know who we were going to be signed to. We were just making music for ourselves.
He always was convinced that we will manage to release this album, that there's going to be someone who wants to listen to it.
Which is a good thing, I guess.
But he always tells me, you know, if it completely sounds different to everything you hear on the radio, that's good.
what happened to we show them how? What happened to we leave the ground? I must have had to remind you.
It was a total surprise to me because we were quite slow with getting onto this whole website and MySpace scene, and we only did it a few months ago. And immediately we got you know, all these messages from people who say how much they miss us and they want to hear a new record. So many kind messages that I'm now really glad that we did it. People always ask me about recording something in Polish, and I do. On quite a few songs I put like one verse or one chorus in Polish, but this time I recorded a whole song, which is shocking.
Nawet w zły dzień nie jest nam źle. Końca świata nie widać.
The song is exactly about enjoying life, you know, about not worrying about the silly things that we all sometimes get lost in. But basically, I think the one theme that goes through the whole album is enjoying the moment. So that became sort of my philosophy now. Everything that happened finally got sorted, and now it's in those songs, good and bad things. I think it's a lot of experiences on this album.